Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on PTCGO. This time I'm going to be playing with, I guess you can call it old school style Garbodor deck, and mainly old school because it's not really seen anymore, using Garbodor with quote unquote the big basics. This time I'm trying a little bit different, so I'm using Landorus, Terrakion, and Cobalion, mainly because those three attackers are fairly effective counters to things in the metagame like Darkrai, Kyurem, and such. And I don't really want to use just Terrakion or just Landorus because of their weaknesses to grass and water respectively, and I'd like to keep it balanced out. So I'm going to start off. It looks like my opponent was predicted to have the advantage in this game, so that's not good. And I'm starting off second, and they reveal a Mewtwo, which is perfect since Mewtwo's another card we don't really see in the format anymore. So now they're going to start off with an Ultra Ball. They got rid of a Skyla to use it, and not sure what they're going to try to get here, but it looks like it's a Ralts. So this is probably Gardevoir Mewtwo, and this deck will abuse Gardevoir's ability to double all Psychic Energy attached to Psychic Pokemon, and with X-Ball that's highly effective. So I captured up his Ralts, and he just uses his Escape Rope to bring back Mewtwo into the active spot, which completely neglected that effect. He's going to attach a DCE onto his Mewtwo and X-Ball me for 80. So not a great start for me. But I do manage to get a Cobalion, a Blend Energy, and a Float Stone, so I'm going to attach that blend to Terrakion, switch out to Cobalion, and N. So here I get my Trubbish, so I'll put that down. I'm going to use a Hypnotoxic Laser, and here I'm going to hit with Righteous Edge for 30, and in the process discard that DCE off of my opponent's Mewtwo, so hopefully that'll slow him down a bit. But I see he goes for the Skyla, so it's for a Rare Candy, which means he'll probably Rare Candy into Gardevoir right here, and he does, so Gardevoir's ability, Psychic Mirage, will do the doubling of energy. So my opponent has also benched a Giratina and a Sigilyph, so again, Sigilyph's Safeguard ability will prevent damage from EX Pokemon, which will be annoying as well, but I do have Terrakion to handle that type of situation. So now I got a Heavy Ball for a Garbodor, put that into play. I'm going to Colress, attach to Terrakion, and just Righteous Edge. So my Garbodor still doesn't have a tool attached to it. I was not fortunate enough to draw one, so that will be a downside. So my opponent's going to be able to hit me with X-Ball for 100. I'm going to power up my Landorus after attaching a few energies to Terrakion in previous turns, deciding to hedge my bets here. I do Skyla for a Float Stone, attach that to Garbodor. So now all abilities are off on his side, so he doesn't have enough energy to attach any longer since I discarded that DCE in the past turn, and his one Psychic Energy isn't being doubled just yet. But he does attach another Psychic, so with that he'll hit me for 40 and then knock out and take the first two prizes here. So Gardevoir is not really a card you see played all that often just because of cards like Mewtwo and Deoxys making it fairly easy to knock out. So here I'm going to Super Rod and then play a Juniper. I didn't really want to discard that Super Rod just for nothing, but I think I needed some cards in my hand. And with my Terrakion I retaliate for 90 and then knock out. So now we're tied on prizes, but he has Giratina in the active spot, which isn't the best thing to attack with in this match. But he's going to catch her up my Garbodor, and with that he can hit me for weakness and then knockout. So not a good position to be in. He's going to catch her up, he's going to Ultra Ball for a Mewtwo. I'm going to send up Terrakion, so here I can actually retaliate as well. I'm going to Hypnotoxic Laser, put down a Veerbank City Gym. I'm going to, looks like Ultra Ball for a Trubbish to try to get another Garbodor in play. Put that down and put a Float Stone on Trubbish, and then N. I get some more Pokemon. I'm going to put down another Cobalion, hit him for 90, and if he doesn't retreat, he will be knocked out at the end of his turn. but it looks like he does retreat into Mewtwo. So the fortunate part is he doesn't have any energy, but he did get a Tool Scrapper, and that's not good. And he's going to Hypnotoxic Laser me just back. So with that, he follows with a Juniper and an Eviolite, and he X-Balls me for the knockout. So I'm going to send up Trubbish just because it has the float zone attached to it. I'm going to attach a Fighting Energy onto Landorus, it looks like. I figure attacking with it might be more helpful here. I'll be able to put down a Terrakion as well and Juniper once again this turn. So here I managed to get quite decent cards. I do have that Heavy Ball to be able to get a Garbodor, but first I'm going to capture up Gardevoir, since it's probably going to be the biggest pain, especially if he runs multiple Tool Scrappers, which many decks are now doing. So I'm going to Heavy Ball for that Garbodor, Evolve, so abilities are off at this point, and here I'm just going to Hammerhead. So I won't be able to knock out Gardevoir, but I will start sniping the bench for 30, and with that I can take prize off of Giratina. So now I have 3 prizes to go and he has 2. He places a Routes on the bench, plays a Hypnotoxic Laser, again not something I want to see here, and a Bianca. And I wake up, fortunately, between turns. I'm going to attach that Float Stone. Figure here I may want to retreat and attack with something else. So I put down another Landorus. I'm debating whether or not to play that Tool Scrapper to remove that Eviolite, but I decide to just end instead. Get a Blend Energy that I can attach to my benched Landorus, so I'll be able to Hammerhead with it without taking poison damage. And with this, put 30 on the Gardevoir and 30 on the bench Routes. My opponent's going to Computer Search, probably for a supporter here. Best bet would be a Juniper, but he goes for Colress, which is even better, and adds a few more cards. And he puts down a Mr. Mime, so this makes my strategy of attacking with Landorus not as useful, but I do still want to knock out Gardevoir here. So I get a Metal Energy, I'm going to attach that to Cobalion, and then I'm going to switch into Cobalion, attack with it instead, since it does have resistance to psychic attacks. I get a Dowsing Machine. I'm going to use it to discard 2 things to get, I believe, maybe a Catcher or Hypnotoxic Laser. So it looks like I got a Hypnotoxic Laser. So I'm going to Catcher the Mewtwo up. So I was hoping I would draw into something different when I burned that Catcher before, but I end up double Catchering. I'm going to Righteous Edge and discard that DCE off of Mewtwo. So hopefully this will get him stuck in the active, since abilities are off and he won't be able to attack. But he did manage to get another Psychic Energy onto his active Mewtwo. So here he can X-Ball me, but I do have resistance, so it's probably best if he can get a Catcher, and he does. He's going to Catcher up Garbodor. He's going to end me. And then he switches. So he could have knocked out Garbodor potentially, but looks like he's not going to. He instead switches into Mr. Mime, which I'm not sure why. I think he's trying to deck me since I have only 4 cards left, and I may not be able to take the win fast enough. I'm going to attach an energy onto Landorus so I can land Judgment to knock out something if need be. Here I'm sort of trying to work out the math. If I can land Judgment here to knock out Mewtwo, and I don't think I can quite yet. It'd be 10 short, I believe. So I'm debating what to do, if I should just Catcher up something else and attack with Landorus, and attack it, or attack with Cobalion. So I'm going to attack with Cobalion and just Righteous Edge, but I do decide to Catcher up. Here I'm going to go for Mewtwo, I believe, or I'm strongly contemplating it. So instead I decided to Righteous Edge the active. So I could have gone for the bench Mewtwo, but instead I just did the active. My opponent decides to switch, hit me for 40, so that's the benefit of having a resistance to Psychic. So I get the Tool Scrapper so I can get rid of the Eviolite here, and I am going to do it this time around. And I'm going to switch into Landorus, hopefully on the next turn. So I need to deal some damage so I can be able to land Judgment for the knockout on this. And I'm also considering capturing up his Mr. Mime. But I guess I decided against it and just go for a Righteous Edge. And 30, so he's going to attach a third Psychic Energy, hit me for 60. I managed to get a Blend Energy, which I will attach and retreat into Landorus. So here I will be able to Land's Judgment for the knockout. So I will discard all the fighting energy attached to my Pokemon and deal 115 damage, which is enough to knock out Mewtwo. So now anything he sends up, I can knock out with Terrakion, it looks like, because I did draw that catcher. So I drew 2 actually off of my prizes. So with that, I'm going to retreat my active Landorus, catcher up a Ralts, and take the knockout this way and the win. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this matchup. It's with 2 decks you don't really see all that often, at least not anymore, since many things have come to eclipse them. Thank you.